It looks like the stream onto YouTube has begun. Can you
Yep.
confirm that, Christina?
Yes, it is streaming. I just want to put it in community.
Okay. Well, welcome to anyone who is tuning in to this Family and Community Engagement Committee meeting of the Hartford Board of Education. It's 5 o'clock on Thursday, February 5th. We'll get started in just a few minutes after some more folks have had a chance to join the call.
Hello,
Hi, good evening.
good evening.
We'll give folks just a couple more minutes to join the call, maybe get started at around 5:04, 5:05.
Somewhere disregard my call.
These are texting board members.
Good evening. Once again, we'll get started in just a couple more minutes once some more people have had a chance to get on the call.
Uh, Good evening, Stephen, Christina. Um, I'm just kind of just tuning in as an occasional viewer. I don't have the packet of stuff. I didn't see it on the website. Is there?
You were on the email. I always CC you on the agenda,
I
and
I did, but is there not a presentation? I went to the website. I didn't see a presentation.
you went to community.
Huh?
Let me hold on. You went to community, right? Then you.
Oh, do I need to log? Okay, hang on. Is there a login way? Because I'm still navigating the new
Yeah,
website.
you and me both.
So that's why I was saying that. Okay, so maybe I need to learn that. So
Oh, I think you muted yourself. Yep. So this
yeah,
is.
I'm sorry. So where's my login thing? I'm sorry.
It's
I
actually
mean,
public. You don't even need a login at this point, at this time.
I didn't think so. It looked pretty much like it
I'm trying to see how. Hold on a second.
yeah.
The public.
I was looking to see usually in the other way I could like get the packet and stuff and kind of look at it, this, that, and the other thing.
Okay. I'm trying to see the where are the attachments? Because I know they're in there.
Yeah, tried that too. Is that did I not do it right?
You and me, I guess, are learning at the same time.
Yeah, oh, okay. All right, maybe after the meeting, something, I'll catch up with it after the meeting.
Okay. I had a chat now. Yeah, the way I have it here, and all of the attachments are right here under the reports. So, let me republish, I guess. Sorry, probably shouldn't be showing all this.
It's a good little overview for
Learning
anyone
tool
watching
overview.
of the new systems. The easiest way to access this site is still through the Hartford Public Schools web page, right? And
Yes,
then
all that
going
has been
to
updated.
Mm-hmm.
going to
Yep.
board meetings. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I have that shortcutted to get to at least
Yeah.
this piece of it.
The link, which I have a call into them because I really want it to be a live link.
Oh, for the location. Yeah.
Oh, there they are. Okay, I just have to refresh here. Okay, thanks, Tyrone, because now I learned I have to republish, but it automatically saved. So those are all the attachments in the reports.
Great. All right. With a few more people on the call here. Christina, do you know if we're waiting on any other board members?
There should be, let me see. Francoise and Steve Wilson should be joining. I
We'll
will
get
text them, but we can get started if you'd like.
Yeah, we'll get started with introductions at least, and then hopefully they have a chance to pick up. All right, so welcome again. My name is Stephen Tatum, board member of the Hartford Board of Education and chair of this Family and Community Engagement Committee. Once again, it is February 5th, 2026. And thank you all for joining us who are on the call to share information and your experiences. And then thank you to anyone tuning in as well to hear more about what's going on in Hartford Public Schools. We'll pass it around, do quick introductions, your name, your role, and then by suggestion of someone who was on the call earlier, with February here, we've got Black History Month, we've got the Super Bowl, we've got Valentine's Day. If anyone has any plans or traditions that they have for any of these recognitions this month, would love to hear any of those. I can kick it off. Yeah, February traditions, Valentine's Day. I do have a long-term partner and we exchange some notes to each other, nothing too formal. We kind of stopped going out to eat or anything like that for a while, but we enjoy cooking things and sharing little appreciations for each other. And I'll pass it on to Tyrone Walker.
Oh, thank you, Chairman Tatum. Traditions. So, I'm also Tom Walker, Board of Ed. Those may not know that I am born on February 15th, and so I'm born the day after Valentine's Day, and so my tradition would be ideally to do the 24-hour from Valentine's Day all the way to birthday, and just until you drop. That would be the tradition, and there we have it. So with that, I will pass it on to Director Hooker.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janelle Hooker, and I am the Executive Director of the Office of Strategic Partnership and Fund Development for Hartford Public Schools. Board Member Walker, this just means that February is your month with a pre-celebration, celebration, and maybe even a post-celebration, is really how I took that. So happy birthday, just in case I don't see you. But the month of February for me is a month of reflection, but also celebrating with friends and family and really giving kind of just recognition to friendship, being together, health as Hispanic tradition when it comes to like Valentine's is not necessarily just on the love aspect, but more on that friendship and family and unity aspect. And I will pass it over to Board Member Wilson.
And the check-in question, Mr. Wilson, is like with February upon us, we got Black History Month, we got Super Bowl, we got Valentine's Day. If you have any traditions or plans that you'd like to share.
Yep, Board Member Wilson. February has always been, you have your Valentine's Day. My wife and I have been married for 22 years. So, right. Our kids are grown and out of the house now, but Valentine's has always been an opportunity for us to have time to ourselves, which we don't usually get throughout the year. Anybody who's been married for a long time with kids, you have to grab onto those opportunities when you can. Black History Month has always been, even though I hate to confine it to a 1 month, because Black history is American history, is history of the world, history of the country. But yeah, the emphasis, I've used it in my house to talk about different aspects of our history that you may not learn in school. Take that opportunity to answer questions that my kids may learn in school. So February has always been about the celebration of our history, but as well as the love that we share as well. So looking forward to Valentine's Day this year and continued hopefully, depending on how things go at the federal level, but continued awareness over our shared history. So I'll leave it there. Passing it off to somebody. Okay, I'm not sure who went, so please jump in if you haven't already gone.
I'll help you here. I'll hand it over to Director De Hoyos.
Hello, everyone. I'm Flor de Hoyos. I am the director of the Welcome Center. And I actually, I don't really celebrate Valentine's because my husband says it's Valentine's every day. And so he buys me gifts any time of the year. And so it's always Valentine's. But I am looking forward to the Super Bowl this year. If you know, a Puerto Rican singer is going to be singing. So I'm excited about that. And so that's what I'll be kind of doing. I'll pass it on to Mauricia.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mauricia. I'm the new Partnerships and Community Schools Manager for the Office of Strategic Partnerships and Fund Development. I've been a part of this department for a while in different capacities, so I'm happy to be back full time. In terms of February, I do love football. I don't have a team. I don't rep anybody. I just like watching football. So I know the Super Bowl is going to be a good time, especially with Bad Bunny performing. I'm a fan too. And yeah, I'm not rooting for anybody, so I just like watching it. And I think everybody has gone.
Nope. At this time, we will hand it over to FCSSP Ryan.
Sorry, Tamoy, sorry.
That's okay. Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you guys for the invitation. My name is Ms. Brian Pinnock. I'm the FCSSP at Breakthrough Magnet North. I've been in this capacity for a little over 3 years. I have been in the school system for a little over 13 years in Hartford Public Schools. So I really have a knack for kids. I really like kids. I am a single parent of a son. So especially this month, we do a lot of learning around Black history because he's a Black boy at this time. So I really need to teach him a lot. I am a Christian, so at church now, my son and I, we are doing like a presentation on Black history. So I'm learning like a liturgical dancing. So it's taking up a lot of my time. Not really a dancer, but to get a 13-year-old out the house to go dance, you have to tag along yourself with him. So I'm looking forward to that. Like we started practicing last week, so I'm continuing. Thank
That's
you.
awesome. Thank you for joining us and thank you for sharing. Let's not forget Christina Santiago. Go ahead.
Darn it. I was hoping you would forget. Yeah, I also just like Miss De Hoyos, we have a tradition of not celebrating Valentine's Day. It's just too crowded out there and too, whatever. It's just the year. And definitely watching the Super Bowl or I have been, because of my husband, I am now a Steelers fan, but even when they're not in the Super Bowl, I enjoy watching the halftime show, the commercials, all of it. So,
Yes, plenty going on this month.
yep.
Well, wonderful. Thanks again for joining and bringing your good energy. And let's carry on with the agenda. I believe I'll turn it over to Janelle Hooker for some updates on the goings-on of our family and community engagement efforts in the office and partnerships. So take it away.
Thank you so much, Board Member Tatum. Once again, Janelle Hooker, overseeing our family and community work here at Hartford Public Schools. Next slide. And we always wanted to ground our presentation during this committee to share with you our February to-do as part of the office. So sharing with all that on February 6th, that is tomorrow, our Welcome Center will be open for extended hours in support of our Office of Enrollment, which we are offering time and space to assist our families and parents around our RESCO applications. So it allows for magnets, open choice, and CTEs processing. This is from 4 to 6. So we are looking forward to hosting families, assisting families through this process, and answering any questions that they may have. Don't forget, the Welcome Center has also moved with central office. We are at 330 Weathersfield Avenue. That's behind Buckley High School. Parking is available, and we look forward to seeing families and supporting them through the process. February 10th, as part of our efforts here at the district to have space and opportunities for families to have a seat at the table, we continue to facilitate on a monthly basis our parent and caregiver engagement panel. This is a virtual meeting open to parents. You are able to access information and link on our website. It's from 4:30 to 5:15, but it's an opportunity to share current initiatives and get parents' input and feedback on plans and things that we're looking at here at the district to ensure that your voice is at the forefront. February 18 is going to be a very busy day for my team as the district is facilitating a parent and community budget forum. This will be taking place at MLK in the auditorium from 5 to 7. We look forward to seeing families and community members to come out and be a part of our budget discussion, so that you are able to see where we are in terms of our budgets and our processes. February 18 is also a day that the office will be working in collaboration with the North Hartford Ascend Pipeline, who is also facilitating a community conversation to provide or ensure that families are starting to think through summer opportunities or summer options so that they're not waiting until June and then there is no availability at that time. So there are two different offerings happening on February 18. The community conversation will be at Parker Memorial from 6 to 7:30. On February 21st, our office is in partnerships with Calling All Brothers, who will be facilitating once again Their African and African American History Spelling Bee competition, which this is in partnership with some of our middle schools here at the district. We're excited for that. This will be taking place at the Connecticut Museum of Culture and History, and it's going to be from 12 to 3 p.m. for you all to be aware of this exciting time for our little ones. And on February 23rd, we continue to have space and opportunities to develop organizations that are partners with Hartford Public Schools around understanding processes, procedures. We also want to make sure that we have technical assistance for our partners. This particular month, we're everything budget, so we will be having our budget forum with partners as well, to ensure that they join us alongside understanding our budget, our advocacy on areas that they can support and collaborate with the district. This will take place from 11 to 12:30 at Connecticut State College's Capitol campus. On this particular slide, you are also able to see our school by zone or school by school and by zone events for the month of February. Ms. Santiago, you just click on any one of the zones just to show an example for the community to know that if, and of course it's not going to let you. If you are interested in knowing activities that are happening at each one of the schools, you are able to click on those links and be able to have access to our the list of activities. And I will really make sure that right after this meeting, I go in and take off any restriction for people to access. And Ms. Santiago, I'll connect with you just to make sure that we can vet that our community have access to this. You can also
Because I did have
access,
access.
yes, you can also access all of these activities school by school on our website on the Family Resources tab. We just wanted to also have it here as an opportunity for community members joining us to also see what is happening at our schools during the month of February. Next slide, please. As part of our report for this month, we are now going to be providing information around our School Governors Council and our Title I report to ensure that the community has transparent information on where we are as a district. Next slide. In terms of our Title I budget for family engagement, we can see that our original budget had a revision based on allocations that are determined based on enrollments for schools. So the budget that we're working off for school year 2025-2026 is $118,936.48 across schools. This is our budget for family engagement. We are happy to share and present that a big portion of our budget has been expended around the activities and events that our schools have been facilitating with families to ensure that families have not only information of how to be in support of their children education in our schools, but also to be educated in processes. We have held between all of our schools in the month of November, 31 workshops, and in the month of December, 19 workshops that bring us to a total of 50 workshops across schools, which utilize our Title I funds to facilitate such. We have also facilitated some family events in collaboration and or partnerships with community-based organizations. And on the slide, you can see that we have facilitated in the month of November. I really can't see.
Sorry, let me go up.
I am so sorry. 152 for the month of November and 95 in the month of December for a total of 247 family events in partnership and collaboration with community-based organizations that are partnering with each one of our schools. That brings us to Total of encumbered monies mean these are upcoming events that we have already either solidified and looking to provide at the schools within the coming months. So we have encumbered as of January 30th, 43,331.91 for our upcoming events. As of our report that we're doing today, we still have available out of the total budget 48,366.96, which is approximately 23% of our total family engagement budget for the district to continue to facilitate events through the end of the school year. And I think my next slide is we have incorporated as part of our presentation in Title I every month to do a spotlight of one of our schools as well as our liaisons in our schools that are tentacles from our office as our family, community, and support service providers who assist in the coordination of these events at our schools. And at this time, I would like to hand over the presentation to our FCSSP Tomoy for her to talk about her experience at Breakthrough North.
Good evening again. My name is Miss Brian Pinnock. I have been the family resource person at Breakthrough for 3.5 years. Coming this school year would be 4 years, but in the capacity before as a paraeducator, I was at Breakthrough for 9 years. So being at Breakthrough, it's a familiar face. I knew the kids. My son attended school here, so I'm familiar with the teachers. And being in this capacity, it had opened up doors where the parents were comfortable to me, where I could help them to find resources, connection with community partners, provide the aid that they need and the support. I have a very excellent communication with my frontline supervisors, my principal and my vice principal, and the classroom teachers. Especially within this year, I had like a few students that were displaced because of homelessness. Because of being in this position in this school, not sharing the school community, like I'm not traveling to somewhere else, I had the right and in resources and information to central office to get the resources that the parents need to get bus connection for them. I have partnership with Anson Hartford where we do a snack bag like every week. I have about 20 kids enrolled in that. On Thursdays today, they came in with the backpacks packed with like nice goodies for home. They have like hot food, snacks and stuff like that within that too. Over the past months, with our Title I allocations and fund, we did a UA night where we had Hartford Performs come in, and along with the UA teachers, arts team and music, we had a presentation on Upstander, how not to be bullied. The families were very appreciative at that because the kids learn in a fun way, like from a kid's perspective, how to actually stand up for themselves, how to communicate with their teachers and their peers, how to look out for their peers also. They had gym, STEM, and music activities that they did after the presentation and the workshop. And they, from the Title I funds too, we were able to allocate and buy like take-home supplies for the parents also. In the next upcoming month, I think next month we'll have like African dance for the kids and parents too, where we're allocating Title I funds for that. We, at the beginning of the year, my principal and I, we would normally sit down and we have communications, and we'll normally send out like presentation for the parents, like the things that they would like for us to do for them, the engagement events that they would appreciate. So we know that we're using our Title I funds for the things that the parents or appreciate, and the things that will support our kids, the things that will actually help them to excel in how to navigate the school system, how to reach out for help. So like that. Also, we have partnership with Horace Mann, We also try to support our teachers too, because our teachers are the backbones of the school that support our kids and family. They do like mugs and kisses for the teachers. So it's like a promotion or like a little celebration for one teacher every month, just of appreciation for all the things that we're doing. Each month we use our Title I funds also to buy stickers and like perfect attendance celebration for the kids, things that are getting them to be in school. They're looking forward to their name getting celebrated over the loudspeaker for perfect attendance for the whole month. So that's something that my kids really do like. But on a given day, being at Breakthrough, my principal and I and that other staff member, we always stand like out in the foyer. We welcome our kids just to know how they're doing with a friendly smile. Like if there's any breakdown, guide them to their lunch carts and stuff like that to get their breakfast in the morning. And my kids like to check in on me. Miss Brian, what's for lunch today? I have one special little student. He'll come up to me, Miss Brian, can I get a hug? Then I have to give him a side hug. And he'll be like, what's for lunch? And I'll be like, Sai, but you know your teacher's gonna tell you what for lunch. You want to know from Miss Brian? And I'll say, you know what, it's pizza today or stuff. And he'll be like, oh yes, Miss Brian, I like chocolate milk with that. So I like being at Breakthrough and I like that I'm here alone, but my work really speaks out, not just for me. I think what I do, it's what all of the SPSP does. And it's because of the leadership we have from Janelle and from Alejandro and everybody downtown. At our workshop, they teaches us how to like really communicate and cooperate with students and how to work and be the best version of ourselves and how to do our jobs to the best of our ability. And knowing that if you were the parent on the outside, how would you like to be treated? What resources are you lacking? How can you get those resources? And I think our team provide all of those. We go out above and beyond to find those resources for our parents. That's all I'd like to share today.
Thank you so
so
much.
much.
Absolutely.
I think our next slide is really an opportunity for any questions that you may have for Tomoy and the work that happens at Breakthrough North.
Mr. Chair, if I could ask
Go ahead.
quick question. Thank you. Ms. Brian Pinnock, thank you. A great presentation and obviously heartfelt as the hearts were floating across the screen. One question is about your events. Do you or through your office track parents and caregivers that show up for your events? I'm just curious to see how the type of engagement that you get, because occasionally I'll hear that people don't show up for the parent-teacher conference. So I'm curious to know if there's more popularity around the events that you hold. So that'd be my only question is, how do you measure that?
Okay, so we have like next week we have like we call it the Loved Ones Dance. We have been doing it since I've started in this capacity in Nadaparam, where we do a sign-in sheet. So for most of my events, I'll try to do a raffle or a takeaway for parents to like a gift card or an incentive for them. Like for yesterday when we had parents teacher conference, I had books outside. The UA teacher along with myself, we prepared like math kits for them to go home with, where they had counters, they had money, they had rulers, they had measuring sticks. So all of the different math supplies that they could use for homework at home. And then the classroom that would have the highest amount of parents that came for in-person parent-teacher conference, they'll get a pizza party next week. So it's always trying to provide an incentive, not for the kids too, because if a kid knowing that I'm going to have a pizza party, sometimes they'll definitely try to get the parents to come in, not do the phone call or the Zoom call, because we try to strive for at least 70% of the parents being inside. So at least you could better explain how the kid is progressing, what resources need to be provided if they need aid and resources. And for most of my events, I try to provide something for the kids, an incentive, and for the parents also. And I do like assigning sheets for them too. And I try to do a lot of parent square posts, like a reminder. And as I said, in the morning, I'm at the foyer with the principal. We pass out flyers, we do a reminder. And it's just reminding, like, Mom, like today I was talking to our parents because I try to work from the main office area a lot. Just a reminder, remember the dances next week. We'll have a DJ, we'll have pictures. And remember, we also have the three prize giving also. And it's a fun time, like you get to have the pictures. And remember, your son is leaving next year, but guess what? This picture will be a memory for him with his kids and stuff like that. So I'm always busy showing up, and my rapport with my parents, I must say, it's been very good. I think it stemmed from me being in this school as a para before, and my child, before he graduated here, was also here. So I have a good rapport with those parents too. So for one of the thing is always trying to make sure you know your parents a lot. I'm not saying like bomb rush them all the time, but you will know the one that just need a good morning, how are you, or a good evening, how are you, thank you for picking up on time. Always complimenting them and letting them know that they're welcome. And even if my parents are late, I was like, I know it may be traffic or stuff like that. So I try to go to my parents' level because I'm a parent too. So maybe that's the thing.
And then one thing I'll add, Board Member Walker and Tomoy knows because I did see her email coming in. Our FCSSPs are required to submit to Alejandro and myself sign-in sheets for all of their events. So while we have a tracking mechanism in Power School that we built out for them to track the events that they're doing, our checks and balances to that report is individual sign-in sheets where we can use as our checks and balances for events, number of parents attended, and the connection of parents to our students.
Yeah, thank you. It's great to hear, and it's good. I I love Miss Bryant. I got a compliment whether you're on time or late, because parents do stress about that. So that's good to know.
Any other questions or comments? Great, seeing none. Thank you very much for joining us and sharing about your work that you're doing and all of the support that you're providing for the community there. I'm sure that it makes a big difference.
Thank you.
Claps all around. Have a great rest of the night.
Thank you.
And
Thank
yeah,
you so
feel free
much,
to
Tomoy.
feel free to hang on the call and hear the rest of it, or if you want to get on with your evening, you're welcome to hop off.
I'll stay on while I'm working, but I might close my camera. I'm still in the office because I'm planning for the dance next Thursday.
Thank you, Tomoy.
You're welcome. Thank you guys so much for the invitation.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so moving on with our presentation and report out for today, wanted to take an opportunity to also provide an update on full service community schools or community schools funding, as we were very transparent and public with us receiving a non-continuation from the government. Next slide. So Hartford Public Schools was the recipient of a 5-year federal grant, which was called or is called the Full Service Community Schools Grant. We were currently, as of December 31st, in our second year of the grant. The grant was a 5-year grant scheduled to end on December of 2028. On December 12th of 2025, we received a notification from the federal government of a non-continuation for funding. We were one of 19 grantees across the United States that received such non-continuation. On December, we were allotted or we were given an opportunity on that notification to submit a reconsideration decision, which our district did make a decision to submit the reconsideration decision. On December 19th, which was within the allotted time that we had, it was 7 calendar days for us to submit such information. Our district did submit a reconsideration with documentation on reports and gains and updates of how the grant was being implemented so far. We did receive on December 29th of 2025 a denial response to our reconsideration decision. We continue to work with communities as Waterbury, New Haven, who also were part of the non-continuation funding notification. And we also had alongside Stanford, who did not receive a non-continuation funding, as we were the 4 communities that had this federal grant allotment. We continue to do advocacy and work around understanding different ways that we could regain such funding as we were seeing improvement and gains within the schools that were implementing the programs and services for the grant. On January 29, 2026, our governor for the state made an announcement that out of our state's surplus, they will be using some of the monies to support full service community schools or community schools across the districts that lost the funding. That means Waterbury, New Haven, and Hartford. The changes that this would have based on the information that we have received is that it is not necessarily allotted for the remainder 3 years that the original grant would have had. The original grant was scheduled for December 2028. The funding that the governor is making available to us will bring us to June 30th of 2027. We are currently working with our state Department of Education to understand next steps, metrics, and by when we would be able to receive the funding so that we don't have much of a gap in disruption of services within the schools that this will come to support. At this time, I think my next slide is more around opening it up for any questions that anyone may have.
Are there any questions? I know there have been a lot of twists and turns on this roller coaster ride, and Ms. Hooker, I'd like to give you a shout out for navigating all of these turns and keeping up with the changes and the different strategies that we're pursuing to celebrate the work that we're doing and let it be known how important it is for our system and do that advocacy to fortunately, secure this relief from the state. But yeah, I see Miss Brody, your hand up. Go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. So I don't have a question. I do have a comment. I wanted to commend Janelle. It was a good energy around the collaboration of the agencies and Hartford Public Schools as a unit, as far as like providers for our community schools. So I just was excited. I was happy to witness that, just the camaraderie around the 3 towns for the reasons of serving our families and children.
Thank you.
There's plenty to comment on about the politics of this and what it says about the state of our society and the priorities that we have. But I'm glad that the outcome here is that, at least in the state, we're investing in these programs that really do provide necessary and transformative services for young people in the state, and that we're placing a high priority on that. at least here in the state. So glad that the work that can continue and looking forward to seeing how perhaps, with the increased collaboration that this has kind of spurred, that maybe this is something that could continue to grow here in Hartford and here in the state. So looking forward to seeing what comes.
More information to come as this is available to me.
Sounds good.
Next slide, please. Okay, continuing with our presentation, our office also oversees and/or manage our School Governors Council for our district. So this is just a reminder slide that the full complement of School Governors Council at each one of our schools is looking for 14 number of members for voting, where it comprised of 7 parents, 5 teachers, 2 community-based organization or 2 community leaders, and at the high school level, 2 students. So this is just to level set and understand in terms of our public act that we need to follow. What does a full up and running School Governors Council should look like? Next slide. We have been doing a lot of work within our office and our schools and working alongside our school administrators and our FCSSPs to ensure that every one of our schools has a full and active School Governors Council. So from our last report on where we were, I am happy to share that at this time, so all of our schools have a School Governors Council. The goal that we have here at the office that we have set for all of our schools is to have a full member active School Governors Council. From our last report, we had mentioned that we were at 23 schools with a full implemented Governor Council. At this time, we're at 27 of our schools with such implementation. Across our schools, we went from 232 parents being members of this platform to 240. We also, in terms of teacher representation as a member of these, we went from 172 to 182. And in terms of community partners membership, we went from 67 to 69. So we still have a little ways to go. We have been working very diligently with our administrators. As we know, we are currently in budget seasons, and we want to make sure that our families have an active seat at the discussion that is happening at each one of the schools. So we will continue to support the work and provide guidance to ensure that every single one school has a full complement of what a School Governors Council should have. I'm opening it up for questions. Board Member Tatum?
Thank you for mentioning that the crucial role that the SGCs play in the budget process. Could you, I don't know if you have this information on hand, but could you kind of give a reminder of the timeline for that process? Like which of the meetings coming up will a lot of those decisions be being made by SGCs for their school budgets?
So not necessarily specific dates, but I can say that during the month of February, all of our administrators are going to be working on meetings actually started this week with their School Governors Council to start to review data and information provided in their initial stages of their budget. We did place on our website access for the public to see the different dates of when our SGC meetings are happening at school. Some of the options are in person, some of the options are virtual. So I do encourage our community to review our website under the Family Resource tab to see the full complement of dates by schools to be able to be a part of these meetings. These are public meetings However, the 14 members are the ones that are considered or can do voting in the procedure. But we do want to be very transparent with our dates. So the month of February, you're able to go in and see the dates by school that you can access to be a part of these meetings. We do have our district-wide budget community conversation coming up on February 18, but for individual school conversations, that is available at this time on our website. Any other questions? Okay, next slide. At this time, I would like to hand over our report for the Welcome Center and our Family Resource Center works to Director De Hoyos.
Hello, everyone. I will be doing the reports for the Welcome Center. Next slide, please. In this slide, we're going to show for December. December, we had 537 intakes. Once we move on to the next slide, you're going to see that there is, compare to December of 2024, we had 422 then. So that's over 100 more intakes last month, the month of December of 2025. In here, we added a new graph, and in this graph, you will see the percentage of the reasons why people come to us. And I can go through and give you the numbers for that. So for transportation, we had 167 intakes. For the homeless intake, we had 147 intakes. Last December, we also had toys intake, which was, they were donated by Toys for Tots. And last month we had Miss Shelly Mar Ramirez talk about the donations, and that's where the donations were giving out in December. We had 24 intakes for clothing. For bus passes, we had 23 intakes. For student transfer requests, we had 14 intakes. For principal staff, we had 14 intakes. For hygiene kits, we had 10. For general information, we had 7. And for bullying, we had 6 intakes. We can go on to the next slide. Here you have the chart where I said you can compare December of 2024 to December of 2025. And you see that there is over 100 more intakes this past December. So clearly the need has gotten greater a year later. On the right-hand side, you're going to see all the way to the right, the links to the reports. You received these reports earlier in the month, but we like to go through them. Although I highlight the top 3 here, I will go in and mention at least the top 5. So I did go over all the displacements, so the transportation, displaced families, and the toys. You saw that prior on the last chart. And then underneath in the engagement services, that I highlight the top 3 schools, but I will go through the top 5. For the elementary, we had Wish, MD Fox, Burns, Global, and Parkville. For middle school, we have McDonough, Milner, MLK, Burr, and Classical. And for high school, we had Weaver, Hartford Public High, Classical, Buckley, and HMTCA. And then for out of district, we had some intakes as well. And we had 17 new students and 1 from New Vision. We also had, that I'm not showing here, we had 63 intake students that were identified McKinney-Vento for the month of December alone. Next. And for the FRCs, We have, we're full blown now. Everybody has started their program. So Burns Latino had a total of 2,410. These include the social and support services, medical and mental health services, childcare services, and home visits. For Wish School, we had 754. Also included the social and support services and school age educational programs. At Rawson, we had 520 with the social and support services, home visits, play groups, before care, educational programs, and families in training. At Sand, we had 591. That one included the social and support services, adult education, early childhood services, medical and mental health services, housing, food, and clothing. And at Sanchez, we had 632. It included the aftercare services, youth development, school age activities, adult education, and social and supportive services. And I believe that is it for me. Any questions? Yes, Ms. Hooker?
Not a question, but a comment I would like to add for the community and our board members to help reiterate that our Welcome Center is our customer care. So it is a space where we triage all of the intakes that are coming into our district, but it's a shared space with our enrollment team that also is able to share with our families information around our different school options, the processes, application, and procedure once we do that intake and do that triage, as well as the triage of individuals needing transportation support and or reconsideration of their transportation or what have you, while we have a department, our Welcome Center assist with triage of those intakes.
Thank you.
Yes, and thank you for all the work that you do to provide the best, experience that we can have for our families as anyone is navigating challenges that do come up or just trying to advocate for whatever it is that they need in our school system. It's such an important touch point, and I'm glad that we've got a team working on it. How just out of curiosity, how has it been to be at the new Buckley?
It's been wonderful. Free parking for the parents. So the parents definitely have said that. And so I think we're loving our space. So, and parents are loving it. It's a little more spacious. And so, yeah. Thank you.
Glad to hear it. Nice to have it be like in a home base here in a school, like less of the sort of downtown like skyscraper kind of feel, I feel. All right. Any other comments or questions?
No, I'm all set.
Okay. This was the last item on our agenda, is that correct, Christina?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Well then, thank you all again for your continued engagement. Look forward to the events coming up that Ms. Hooker, you highlighted at the top of the meeting, and we'll see you around in the community.